Good evening, everyone. This is North Shore Preparedness coming to you from the hot shores of Lake Ontario. Today is Saturday, August the 22nd, 2020. And yeah, it was a hot and sticky one here today. What we're going to do here is we're going to show you today how to make wine from your simple prepper pantry with 3 simple ingredients, okay? So without further ado, let's get right into this, alright? Let me flip this viewfinder around so that I make sure everything's going well and I can see it, stuff like that. Okay, so what you're going to need, 3 ingredients, just 3. You're going to need some decent juice out of your pantry, okay? Now, you want a juice that doesn't have any preservatives in it. You don't want any phosphates or anything like that. You want a pure type of juice. So you're going to need pure juice, you're going to need sugar, and you're going to need yeast. That's it. 3 ingredients, okay? Alright, so without further ado, let's get into this. Now, you could make it in this jug if you want to, but, you know, some people suggest make it in this jug, take a bunch of the juice out, and either drink it or throw it away or use it for another purpose or whatever. But personally, I don't like to discard any juice, so what I choose to do is I just choose to put it in a bigger vessel, okay? Now this vessel needs to be absolutely clean, okay? Wash it absolutely thoroughly, clean it right out, and make sure it's clean of anything. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go right ahead with this. Like I said, we need juice, sugar, and yeast. So the first thing we're going to do, while our funnel is dry, you're going to need a jug and a funnel. And you're going to need a measuring spoon, okay? Other than that, you don't need anything else at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 1 cup of sugar into this jar. There it is. And it goes. Done. Our other dry ingredient, yeast. From my pantry, sugar from my pantry, yeast from my pantry, juice from my pantry. I have a half teaspoon measure here. So I'm going to add 2. You want 1 teaspoon of yeast. So far we have 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of yeast. That's the hard part, okay? And then we want to introduce our juice. Maybe I should shake it up. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it settles at the bottom or not. I forgot to check the bottom. Nope, doesn't settle. This is good. Rest of your juice goes in. So you've got yeast, sugar, juice. There we go. Isn't that nice? Alright. Now, the reason I put it into a bigger vessel rather than leaving it in that one, or like taking a bit of some of the volume of juice out of that, when this ferments, it's going to bubble up. You're going to need some head space here. So that's why I choose to use a bigger vessel than what the container comes in. If you want to use the container that it comes in, just dump out some juice until you know, it sort of comes down to like halfway down the shoulder or of the jar or whatever, and drink that, because you're going to need some headspace for this to bubble and ferment. All right. Okay. So we put in our sugar, we put in our yeast, and we put in our juice. Well, that's pretty much it, folks. There's not a whole lot more to it. I will show you what's more. once you've got your sugar, your yeast, and your juice into your vessel, turn it upside down and give this a good shake. You're going to want to shake this like crazy. We're going to shake it here for a few minutes, okay? Just to make sure all the sugar is dissolved and all the yeast gets fully incorporated into this juice, okay? This is seriously how to make wine from your prepper pantry. Super simple. 3 ingredients. Takes a little bit of work, yeah, you gotta shake it back and forth. That's okay, don't be scared of a little bit of work. But in a post-event, if you have sugar, yeast, and juice, like every good prepper pantry has, you can make wine. Now, you saw me use the purple grape juice. That's going to turn into a red wine, okay? And that's cool. That's what I would use more for cooking anyways. Depending, you know, I'd use a white wine for cooking if I was doing more of like a fish dish or something like that. If I wanted to deglaze and make a sauce or whatever. But I tend to prefer more robust flavors. So I usually go with the red. Now, I've got bottles of red wine in the cupboard. I mean, it's not a question of that. For me, I'm just putting things up in my pantry. You know what I mean? So you want to shake the ever-living bejeebies out of these, okay? It's all fully blended. Till all the sugars are dissolved in there. Alright? Alright, that has taken place. Now what you want to do is you're going to want to put this in, you know, you're not going to want to put it in your windowsill. You want to keep it out of sunlight and stuff like that. Keep it in a sort of moderated temperature place. But you do not ever want to keep the top on tight. You want it on. You want the top on, but you want it on ever so loosely. Okay? You see how I can squeeze it? And you can hear the sound come out of it, like that. That's kind of how you want it. If it's on too tight, and you can't hear anything come out of the top, that's too tight. You want it just tight enough so that nothing can get in, but so that the air can get out. Because this is going to bubble up, alright? It's going to bubble up and ferment. And that process is going to take about, you know, it's going to take 3 weeks or so. Okay? It's a bit of a waiting game, but it's kind of like making free wine. You know, the cost of the juice, and the cost of the sugar, and the cost of the yeast, you're sort of doubling your money with this, with making it at home. And now, like, don't get me wrong, I don't drink a lot of wine, but I do like to enjoy some wine. I like it to have around to cook with. So like this is one of the reasons why I'm making it. And this is one of the reasons why I'm showing you how to make it. So that you guys can have it in a post-event. You know, out of your prepper pantry. Sugar, juice, yeast. And you can use a white juice to do this. You can use a peach juice or anything that's natural and has, you know, you're not looking for any preservatives. You want a pure juice in this. Okay. So, this is the one we just shook up. Top is on very loosely. This one, the top is on tight. I made this about a month and a half ago, and it's just been sitting on my shelf. Let's give it a little taste. See what it tastes like. Well, it smells like wine. Smells like wine to me. A little tumbler here. I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. Totally smells like wine to me. Mmm. Wow, that tastes like a Merlot that has a strong kick to it. Now, I don't have a hydrometer here to measure the alcohol content, but I can assure you that from the aftertaste that I'm getting, this has got to be 12 or 13% alcohol wine. It's actually really good. I'm gonna finish this little tumbler here. It's very tasty. It's a little dry actually. It's almost like a dry. It's almost like a sherry, but without the sweetness. It's really good. I would cook with this anytime. I would be happy to deglaze my pans with this. While I'm making a sauce, or you know what, I would serve that to guests. I absolutely would. So this is how you make wine with 3 simple ingredients from your prepper pantry. Do not leave this on tight. I'll tell you something, if you leave this lid on tight and you throw it in your closet, you know, where you got all your white tuxedos hung, if you leave that lid on tight and you put that in there with your white tuxedos, guess what color your tuxedos are going to be? Because that will explode. So make sure you leave that top off loosey, like that. Make sure the air can go in and out. Just leave it in a room temperature, dark place, not in the sunlight. Yeah. Juice, sugar, yeast. You can make wine from your prepper pantry. Alright, so that's what I've got for you guys this evening. I hope you know, anyone who sees this can learn from it, and you know, maybe you can make your own wine. And give me some comments down in the comment section below. Let me know how you have some success with it. I'd love to see it, alright? Alright. For now, on this Saturday, I hope everyone's well, safe, and this is going to be North. Out for now. Take care, all. Stay well and safe, okay? Make some wine. You've got it in your pantry already.